Okay, hello bobbleheads. We're here with a special episode. This is a first of many. This will be a movie review while playing Dr. Mario. Yes, I know that sounds really stupid, though this was what I envisioned for a while now. I've been thinking I do not have the patience to edit a movie review just yet, so all I need to do is play Dr. Mario while I ramble about it. It's kind of what some of my friends already do when they are reviewing movies to me. We just talk, we just do other stuff, and then they're like, oh yeah, this movie's alright. So let's try. So the movie was Jumanji: The Next Level. It was an alright movie. I realized throughout the movie that it had certain problems, especially in the ending, because like a lot of the character development happens in the last, what it feels like the last 5 minutes, and that's kind of bad. So like, yeah, spoilers obviously. Let's see. Like I just watched it. How can I put this? So like, the movie like throws a few curveballs, which I like. As someone who doesn't like to watch movie trailers, this was an enjoyable experience. I was expecting them to do a complete rehash of the first movie. Well, like we all know that like this is not the actual first movie. Like Welcome to the Jungle is not the actual first movie, though. I expected it to be like the same thing, but like no, it's actually very different, which I like. Though where they decided to go with it wasn't exactly what I would have done. So the first movie, Welcome to the Jungle, like I always refer to it as the first movie, they just made it like a fun action movie, very different from the original movie. I think it was just originally called Jumanji, and that's fine. Like it was fun, it was great. It surprised a lot of people, myself included. I did not expect to enjoy it so much. Though the second movie tries to make it deeper. Like it's very obvious that like I know at least one of these actors has become more famous or has taken on bigger roles. Um, the lead, you can't really call him the lead in the first Jumanji. He was in Hereditary and he had a big role. I guess he was technically the lead in that role. Um, so like they gave him and all of his friends more lines, which is fine. I completely support. It's annoying in Dr. Mario that just randomly shifts. Though it's fine to give an actor more lines, but it feels like in the first movie they don't care at all. They're just like, this is a Jack Black, Kevin Hart, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson introducing Karen Gillan, or I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing her name. I think I got everyone else's right. The like, that's what the movie was about. It had nothing to do with like, oh, it also introducing this kid who's playing Spencer, the awkward teen. It's also introducing Martha, who's playing the awkward teen. It's also introducing Fridge, the jock. Like no, like we don't care. Like my friend who I was watching with didn't even remember who these characters were. Like the live action version. Like also Nick Jonas was in it, the first one too. The like nobody cares about those characters. Like this movie is obviously like when it goes back to like real life, you're just like, oh yeah, right. Like we had to sit through this because of the logic progression of the movie. Though nobody's actually just waiting, other than the mothers of the characters, of the actors, I mean. Nobody's waiting for those scenes where those actors show up. Like Jack Black, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, like a lot of them, they just all stole the show, and I just messed up there. Though in this movie, they're like, they try to force it a bit more. Though what they do with the characters is a bit, it's risky, and I'd say the risk did not pan out. what they do is that they decide, oh, let's give these actors more opportunity to like get more range, because like a very common criticism of Dwayne the Rock Johnson is that he plays the same character in every single movie. I made a joke about this with my friends recently, specifically about Jumanji, and it's so true. Like in every single movie, Dwayne the Rock Johnson plays this buff guy who's like really nice, but like so like very nice is like very quick way to describe him, and it's like so descriptive if you watch any of his movies. Like he's never gonna be super rude. Like I didn't watch all the Fast and Furious movies or anything. I haven't watched any, but like he's still likable. Like he's gonna be like kind of sexy. He's kind of be that all American man. It's gonna be like it's gonna be great. Like you're gonna enjoy watching him, rooting for him. But then in this movie, like they try to give him some range. He plays Danny DeVito, so it's like I'm sure he had a lot of fun. Like The Rock had lots of fun being like, "Oh yeah, I get to play Danny DeVito." Like who wouldn't want to play Danny DeVito as an actor? He's a beloved actor, Danny DeVito. He's well liked. So yeah, I'm sure he got to practice his range. Though like it didn't make for an interesting movie. And then like towards the end, like then the big point of this like start of the movie, they set out a lot of plot lines, but one of them is like Spencer and Martha. If you don't remember, those are two awkward teens. Like they took a break between the two movies for some reason because of high school. I'll get into that storyline later. But like, it's just random, right? It's just like, but then like Spencer's now stuck in like some random body, and like, okay, I'll get into all these points later. Though like, there was a lot of potential. Is what I'm meaning to say. So it's like Spencer stuck in Aquafina. I assume that was her. Like, no offense to the actress if it wasn't Aquafina, but I was pretty sure it was her. Though he's stuck in Aquafina's bodies, and he complains like, "Oh, I thought I'd be The Rock again. Like, I was fearless. I was confident." And then yeah, he doesn't, and that was a good twist. I like it, though. Rewatching it, I don't think I'll super enjoy it that much. Though the point is, yeah, like they forced Jack Black to be black, and that was great. I enjoyed a lot of his scenes. Like, I'm not even sure if they noticed the pun between like Jack Black and Black. Like, yeah, but either way, that was great. Like, Jack Black has great range. He has the most range out of any of these actors by far. Like, it's obviously not a competition in my eyes. Though, yeah, they just make him black, and it's funny. But then you introduce these two older characters, and even they basically admit that like they're not that interesting or funny because they just. So what I'm saying is like these older characters are playing like they're in the bodies, like their minds are in the bodies of The Rock and Kevin Hart. So you get to see like, oh, Kevin Hart's range as an actor. He's also able to play a funny old man. He was funny for like 2 scenes, maybe. Okay, I'm exaggerating, but like he was not that funny. Like he was way funnier when he could just be Kevin Hart. It's like if you look at it closely, or not even closely, if you just pay attention for a bit, these characters are not acting like their high school counterparts at all. Except Jack Black, he has such good range. But like these people are just acting like themselves. Like The Rock is just acting like himself. Except this. Oh, I didn't even complete my joke earlier. So the joke was The Rock always plays the same character, but in Jumanji this time, like he's always like, "Oh, I'm a muscly guy. I'm confident, but not too confident." Actually, sometimes not confident, but like there's memes of like The Rock showing up like pictures of him in different movies, and It looks like he's in the same movie because he's playing the same role. But in Jumanji, this time the twist, his to show off his range, is that oh, I didn't know I was a muscular guy. This time I'm discovering my muscles. And it's like, yeah, that's great, Rock. Like, it's great that you're discovering your muscles as a character. We already know you're a muscular guy, and that's like kind of a lot of the humor that comes with The Rock and John Cena. Like, all these WWE guys. Yeah, this is disorganized because I'm playing Dr. Mario also. Though, yeah, like the old men playing Kevin Hart. Like, I think it's just an excuse to show off their range, but I think it was not a home run. It might have been a great. It was a great performance by both of them, but like, it wasn't as funny as the first movie where Kevin Hart could be Kevin Hart. Like that scene where he's like, um, in the first movie, he's like, I have a backpack. You don't go in the water with a backpack on. Like the way I say it's not funny at all. But when Kevin Hart says it, because he's being Kevin Hart, it's hilarious. Like it's great. Classic Kevin Hart. His delivery is amazing. In this movie, it's like his delivery's all right. It's funny. It's great. Like, it's not great, but like, but yeah. Then you see that. So I think it's emphasized further how these characters aren't really characters. They're just caricatures, right? Like Kevin Hart isn't playing Milo Walker. He's playing an old man. Like The Rock is not playing Dan DeVito. He's playing an old confused man with like some anger issues or whatever, stubborn. Like they just capture their traits. They don't capture their actual personality, if you get what I mean. Either way, moving on to a point where I think I could make more leeway or progress is talking about the plot line. So like what I meant earlier at the start of this video was saying that all the character development happens in the last 5 minutes. So like remember that plot line at the beginning of the movie where Martha and Spencer break up? As a reminder, those are two awkward teens. Yeah, that doesn't go anywhere throughout the whole movie until Spencer becomes The Rock again, and then Martha stays as Ruby Roundhouse. I don't even think they mention her name in this movie, though. Yeah. I was thinking like, oh, like Spencer is in Aquafina's body. Will they like try to do some like same sex like romance scenes? Like that's very innovative. Like there was potential there in my opinion. Like would have been nice to be like, oh, like our love transcends our character. Because like if you're actually portraying your characters, if you're actually trying to portray Martha and Spencer, who cares what bodies you're stuck in, right? It's more about like who are you in your mind rather than who are you in your body. However, they didn't want to be that risky, so they didn't go any like same-sex romance scenes, which is fine. Like it was just a kiss, it's nothing serious. But like similarly, like in terms of potential, like they talk about Spencer being unsure, and that could have gone really powerful. They could have gone to like mental health, like that's a big issue these days. They could have just been like, like seeing you go away, I was dealing with depression, I didn't know what to do. Like that's what it sounded like. The way he was acting, like anxiety, depression. Maybe he has like a long-term disability or something, or invisible disability. They could have talked about anything like that, but no, he's just like, like this is actually what he says. He says something like, "Oh, seeing you happy with your new friends, I wasn't sure if you would like me. I wasn't sure if I liked me. I wasn't sure if you would like me." And then she's just like, "You know what? I was scared every single time. Like I talked to people Like for the first time in my life, people liked me, and I'm like, okay, that's good. That's a good start. The like, university definitely does that to people. You could go on, and they're like, nope, let's just kiss in the next scene, and then that's the end of the arc. I think their next scene where they talk about their relationship at all is when they're back to being human characters and they just kiss each other on the cheek or something, and then it's like, okay, cool, we're good, we're good. And the other like character arc happens in the last 5 minutes. Also, it's Milo and Danny DeVito's friendship. Grandpa Eddie, was that his name? Milo and Eddie, I think that was right. So they're just like throughout the whole movie they have like some conversations about them bickering to each other. You learn the backstory. It's like they had a restaurant together. Milo, like Eddie accuses Milo of selling out. Eddie says he's like obsessed with working, and he was really sad when Milo sold the restaurant. And then Milo apologizes or something, and then at the end it's like Milo's a horse, and then it's like, oh, like all of a sudden Eddie was a great friend. What a huge loss that we lost Eddie. And like you see like Jack Black, um, Kevin Hart, The Rock, they're all just like head nod. They're just nodding. It's like, yeah, he was a great guy. We didn't know him at all, but he was a great guy. And yeah, that's what I mean about wasted potential. They're just like sliding in this. It's worse than exposition. It's character development. Like it's fine to slide in exposition awkwardly. Like they do that a few times in the movie. Like when they have to explain to the old men that it's a video game, and they pull out some laughs, which is nice. They're like, oh, we're in a game, really? Like, ha, they're old, they don't get video games. Oh, and also, like, at the end, you see Danny DeVito being like, oh, yeah, being old is good. It's the best thing, and he doesn't even explain why. Um, so, yeah. I think there's a lot of wasted potential in Jumanji Next Level. That's all I had to say. Hope you enjoyed, Bubbleheads. Take care.